Hey guys, I want to apologize to you guys. We were gonna have a whole lot of videos go out to you and everything like that. I had my metal detector. I've had the metal detector for like probably 3 months, and I still haven't even got to use it yet. We were going to Sandy Beach, where everybody goes fishing or swimming and stuff, and well, people lose stuff all the time. So we were gonna go and do some metal. Why is that moving? The truck ain't even move when I'm sitting still. And we were gonna, do the metal detectors to see what we can find. Also, we're gonna do a few Randonautica, and cause my intent is abandoned and haunted, and I really wanted to do it to see what was in Heber Springs, because it gets me to know Heber Springs a lot too, on some places that we can do some awesome videos for you guys. And but unfortunately, when we came in last night, we went to the studio, and we were sitting there, and I was going to do a blog this morning at the studio so y'all can see what we're doing there to get the studio going. And Matthew, my son, the one that is in the videos with me, Matthew is autistic. He has a trach. He's had a trach since he was 15 years old. His lungs were half collapsed. They were not working. And they did emergency surgery by doing the tonsils, adenoids, and uvula. They took it all out. And, but they didn't know at that time that his lungs were half collapsed. So Matthew would stop breathing every 12 and a half minutes of his sleep. And he was still doing that even after that. They found out that his lungs were half collapsed. They were so weak for having sleep apnea for so long that they weren't used to filling up. So in order to save his life, they had to do a trach. Well, come to find out, that's not working so well. He still had problems to stop breathing over 12 and a half minutes. And so here up here in the hills, he went and seen a sleep lab here, and because Matthew was having real bad seizures. He has them so bad that he bites through his tongue. And finally, when he did bite, because I never knew Matt was having seizures. And I knew what seizures were because my stepson and his mom had seizures, and her family, members of her family. So we were coming home from church, and Matthew went in a real bad seizure where his whole body stiffened up. He stopped breathing, he turned blue, and then he went out. That was it. And I had to call the ambulance and everything on the road. And so I took and found out that I knew it was a seizure. And so they set him up with a brainwave doctor that hooks you up to see if you're having seizures. She says she doesn't see that he's having seizures. I said, look, I know he's having seizures. So they took him off the seizure medicine that the emergency room put him on. And I'm like, I know what a seizure looks like. I deal with it with my stepson and his mother. I know what a freaking seizure is. I'm not dumb. And, so it really made me mad. I was pissed. I don't care if you see it or not. I know what a seizure is. Tell me why you had the seizure then, Well, come to find out, when we went to the sleep lab, they hooked him up on a brain thing too, because just in case he started to have a seizure, they would know. But come to find out, what's going on is Matthew has what they call now central sleep apnea. And he could have had it even then when he got the trach, and we just didn't know. Because the sleep apnea was real bad then. It was way bad. And so he could have had it at the get-go. But central sleep apnea is where the back of your brain, the signals are not working, and they don't send a signal to your brain to breathe. And that's why he stops breathing over 12.5 minutes of his life. Well, they hooked him up to, it's like a BiPAP machine, but instead of having the mask, because Matthew breathes through the neck, the machine hooks to the neck. Well, it's the first time I ever seen my son get woke up and look so bright and not tired and dragged out. He was so alert, most alert I've ever seen my son. You know, it worked. Well, they had to clear it through his Medicaid to pay for it to be at home. Well, when it comes to being from your mouth to your trach, it's basically a life support. Without it, Matthew will not make it. He starts breathing over 12.5 minutes of sleep, which causes lack of oxygen to the brain, which is causing the seizures. I hate Arkansas. I hate the United States. I'd rather live in Canada. Maybe they do something right. Because here they don't give two shits about you. Our government don't care. Canada has everything going for them and had it from the get-go. And we're still sitting here trying to fucking debate these assholes making their decision even on a stimulus check. It really pisses me off. But when Obama changed all that shit up, he fucked people who needed life support at home. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you have to have a life support system, if Medicaid denies you 3 times, you are not allowed to file again. They won't even look at it. They said the reason why is because they feel with it being hooked to the trach that if it blows the wrong way, Matthew would die. Well, Matthew's going to die a lot faster without it. There's going to be a time that this happens again. And he's just going to stop breathing. And I'm going to come in there one morning and he's not going to be here. Well, when he bit through his tongue, I mean bit through it, right in the middle, all the way through. And somebody ain't going to do that on purpose. And I took him to the emergency room. I told him, I said, now tell him he ain't fucking having seizures. Ain't nobody in their right mind is going to do that. Not to have that kind of pain. His tongue was all swelled up. He couldn't talk. He couldn't eat. It really pissed me off. Then, the next time he had a seizure, he didn't even know it. He he woke up from his building, come over to mine, and there was blood all over his face. He had a seizure so bad that it caused a bleed out through his nose, and he didn't even know it. He just came in and told me, "Mom, I don't feel very good." He goes, "I think I might have had a seizure," and I was doing something, and I looked up at him and I said, "You think?" You know, I took him to the hospital then. Well, he needs that life support. Matthew would live a lot longer. He would be here a lot longer if he had that life support system. But everything being changed, and I'm gonna tell you something. I didn't. I'm not gonna put we into it, because I had nothing to do with it. I didn't vote for some bitch. And this Obama or whatever his name is that's going in for president now, he's the worst motherfucker to have in there because he backs up Obama. Obama's changing all that up. I don't care if you're 80 years old. If you need a life support at home and they deny you 3 times, you don't get it. Medicaid will not pay for it. 2, to have a son of a bitch in there that won't put his hand over his heart to the flag and say the, I can't even think right now. I'm so mad right now, it ain't funny, because I'm sitting at the hospital. To say the I can't see. Pledge allegiance to the flag because it had God in it. That should have gave everybody a red flag right there, that we didn't need a president like that. Our flag is a statement of our country and what we went through and how we fought for freedom. And the Pledge of Allegiance and God, and our country was founded on God. And if you cannot put your hand over your heart and respect ours, then you shouldn't be a president of the United States. I don't care if you black, yellow, or green, whatever. You shouldn't be a president of the United States. If you cannot respect our country, then you should not be there. And this guy that's coming up on trying to be president, he stands behind Obama. Obama pays the money to make this corona with China. Here we are with corona now. You're looking at a man that does not believe in our beliefs and everything, and Hitler. There you go. Hitler, but you fuckers both voted him in. I'd rather had Hillary in there. Rather what she was. I would rather it had a woman in there and than Hitler. Because that's the way I look at it. I don't think it matters whether you vote or not. They're just going to put somebody who they want in here. It's Congress that pretty much, oh, well, you know, we should put this guy in there. He's going to do us better. He's going to do what we want him to do. Let's take away this from the people that really need it. You know, everybody bitches about everybody being on Medicaid. Everybody doing it and everything like that, you know. Why? Because the rich motherfuckers can't get rich anymore when they have to help. But you know what? People can't help in the situations that are at. My son was born a cross-eyed baby. He's autistic. You know. Health issues from day one. And, so it's not his fault that he was born that way. It reminds me of Penhurst Asylum, where people would have children that was crippled, that had some kind of challenge, and because they didn't want to deal with it, because it was a disgrace to their name to have a child in that condition, they throw them in this place. So they get abused, they get raped, they get beaten, they get murdered. People throw people like that just because of their name. Don't want you to lose their reputation. Don't want anybody to know that I had a child like that. And I'm capable of producing children like that. You know, black people really piss me off because of the fact that slavery. You know what? We're still slaves to this day. Every race was a slave at one time. Every race was a slave at one time. You want to know what? Every race right now is a slave. We work our ass off. We try to get ahead. We try to do things and stuff like that. And we're working for the people that are getting richer. We get slammed down and don't get good health care through jobs and everything like that. Especially if you work in a restaurant. I'm a chef. I'm a retired chef. And even as a chef, as high standard as I was, you didn't get good insurance being working in a restaurant at all. Restaurants are the worst. Good health care at Walmart, though. Factories. The restaurants, you can fuck your health care. All them years, as hard as I worked and what I did, and then having cancer for the fourth time and having to take an early retirement because the state wouldn't let me work anymore. I'm sitting here with nothing. The doctor was supposed to come out here and talk to me, but this is taking forever. Basically got to this point that I'm getting real tired of this country. And when it gets to where we can travel, I've got fucking just 2 minds to pack up my son and move to Canada and become a resident there. I don't care how cold it is. I can't handle the cold. It hurts so bad. I hurt worse when it's cold. Although it'd be good for my asthma and my COPD. Hold up, guys. Well, guys, after me sitting in front of the door this whole time, waiting for a stupid doctor to come out to so I can talk to him because we were not allowed back there. Matt being autistic, I need to be back there because he don't know a whole lot. You know, he don't know how to explain it. So they finally come out and said, well, if you want to park, they're going to let you go in. So I'm going to take and put the puppies up here. I let the windows down. I got the back window open and everything like that. Of course, I can check out my car anytime I want. I want to put them up here and get them some ice water and put it in there with them. So they have something nice and cool to drink. And I'm going to go in and take care of Matt. So, you guys pray for Matt. I mean, I really don't give 2 shits about me, although I don't want to go because there ain't nobody to take care of Matt. You know, to be there if something happens, you know, like this. He hit hard. He had a seizure so bad. And he hit hard, so he can't move his arm again, and he had already broke it once, so it may be re-broke again, so I'm going to take and they're going to do an x-ray to see if it's re-broke, and I'm going to make an appointment with Dr. Duke and get him in there to see him. He can't even get his seizure medicine because all these places, Social Security, all those places and everything are not reopening. So I got to remember the last address. And Matthew's lived in 3 different places. And I can't remember all the damn addresses and everything. So since I can't remember it and tell them the right address, they're not going to send his Medicare card. So I can get a supplementary insurance so we can start getting his seizure medicine. So we don't have to have seizures all the damn time. So it's fucked up. You know. You can't go into Social Security so you can show your ID and have everything changed over so you can have the Medicare sent to you, Medicare card, and it's just, and I hate the fucking states. You know, I understand now why people get so pissed off and go into places and shoot them fuckers up. I mean, I would never do that. One, I don't want to stay the rest of my life in prison. I have Matt. I take care of Matt. But I can understand what frustrates people when it comes to things like this. Because it doesn't matter how hard you push and what you say and what you try to get done. All they're doing is just rolling their eyes in the back of their head. And it's going in one ear and out the other because they don't give 2 shits about you. If you're low grade and you work for somebody, say you working for yourself and or you ain't got the, or you ain't rich, it's just like fucking school. If you ain't here, and you're down here, they don't give a shit about you. I passed every grade with 5 S2Ds all the time because I had a real bad learning disability, but they didn't test me to find out. Well, you ain't nothing but a bum and never will be but a bum. I laid my teacher out 2 weeks in 11th grade. And I got a choice. Either I took 2 weeks of suspension, or they were going to call the cops because I hid the teacher, and I said, take the school and shove up your ass. After I quit and went and seen the doctor, I found out it was ADD, and that I was dyslexia, and that's why I couldn't learn the way she was teaching it. Because I was wanting her to re-explain it to me so I could understand it so I can do it. Ain't that I didn't want to fucking do the work. They're not going to lend out an extra hand. At all. They didn't for Matt. In fact, they actually beat on him in school. Because he would fall asleep because of the sleep apnea, and we didn't know he had it at the time. He'd fall asleep in the bathtub. And he snored so loud it went through 3 walls. But the teachers beat on him. Would hit him in the fucking ribs and shit and wake him up. And then because he fell asleep in school, they refused him to have lunch. They wouldn't let him have food. And then they want to turn around and say, oh, him? They have nothing for these kids. Worked all that time. You don't have nothing either. Work all your damn life, earned all your credits and everything, work for many, many years, take your retirement, and you're still paying into Medicare. Comes out of that check once a month. You still pay for it even though you pay for it all your damn life for working. You can work for 60, 70 goddamn years. And there goes one of the puppies. Cat decided to attack the puppy. Well, leave the kitty cat alone. But guys, I gotta let you go and get in here. I gotta take the phone in with me. So, pray for Matt and everything like that. And, when he gets feeling better, we'll be back out there. We'll be taping for you guys. So, y'all be good. Be safe. If not, be safe for yourself because you get sick, they ain't gonna find no cure. They're gonna see how many of the poor people they can get rid of. But I know I'm probably talking bullshit, but that's just the way I feel. So y'all be safe, be you, be cool, and just watch your back. Peace out.